Obsessive compulsive personality disorder is not the same thing as OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. They get confused all the time. So what is obsessive compulsive personality disorder? It is a personality disorder that has specific criteria. OCPD has to have 4 of 8 symptoms over a persistent period of time and cannot be caused by another mental health condition, can't be caused by a health condition, can't be caused by substances, and it must cause significant distress. So what are the 8 criteria? Remember, you have to have 4 or more over a persistent period of time. I'll go through the 8th criteria. You have a preoccupation with details such as lists. And this is not just preferring lists, you are excessively preoccupied with lists and details. You have perfectionism that interferes with your tasks. Again, this is not just liking things a certain way. This is to the point where things have to be a certain way or else they just won't happen for you. So they get in the way of your life. An excessive devotion to work and productivity. It's different than just being a workaholic. It's excessive to the point where you're so rigid that you have to do things that everything else gets neglected. Inflexibility about morality, morals, and ethics. And this is not just being, someone who is ritualistic and religious. This is black or white thinking, all or nothing thinking, to the point where it can actually be quite disruptive in your roles. There's an inability to discard worn out or worthless items. So when you go into these people's homes, you'll see things that, such as like excessive clothing, excessive papers, things that are not really valuable, but they cannot get rid of them. There's that rigid and inflexible thinking that makes it very difficult to part with these items. Reluctance to delegate tasks or to work with others. Different than just basic micromanaging. This is only I can do it the right way. No one else can do it. And there's a fixation on you doing it yourself to the point where it's quite detrimental and you become very stagnant. Miserliness. Now, this is not just being cheap. This is to the point where you're penny pinching and it's disruptive to your relationships, to your livelihood. Rigidity and stubbornness. This is different than just being somewhat difficult. Your rigidity and stubbornness actually gets in the way of your productivity at work, may get you fired, and may cause your relationships to have a lot of conflict. Remember, you have to have 4 or more of these 8 symptoms over a persistent state of time in order to meet criteria. And it's different than OCD because OCD by definition has obsessive thinking and compulsive behaviors. OCD is different than OCPD because with OCD, you really cannot refrain or have a difficult time refraining from engaging in these thoughts and these behaviors, and actually engaging in these thoughts and these behaviors gives you a sense of relief. Whereas OCPD has that long list of personality traits, different than OCD. It is possible to have OCPD and OCD at the same time, which makes it confusing. There are no FDA medications to treat OCPD. There are medications to treat OCD. Another point that becomes more difficult. OCPD is typically addressed with therapy, and OCPD can be accompanied by anxiety conditions and depressive conditions that do respond well to medications. But again, OCPD is more of a therapy-based type of intervention rather than medication.